In the quiet glow of a suburban morning, the tranquility of the Thompson family's backyard was shattered by an act of calculated destruction. Margaret, the iron-fisted HOA president, stormed into their garden, baseball bat in hand, and smashed their beloved guardian angel statue, a cherished heirloom honoring Sarah Thompson's late grandmother. What followed was a chaotic chase, a muddy downfall, and a neighborhood rebellion that would leave everyone questioning authority, community, and the cost of conformity. Buckle up for a story that's equal parts hilarious and heart-wrenching, with a climax that'll have you cheering, or arguing, in the comments. The Thompson family's Saturday mornings were sacred. Under the golden hues of dawn, Sarah bustled on their porch, arranging a breakfast spread with care. Her husband, David, sipped coffee, the aroma blending with blooming roses. Their teenage daughter, Emily, scrolled her phone, half listening to her parents' chatter, while their dog, Rusty, lounged in the sunlight. At the garden's heart stood the angel statue, its serene smile a tribute to Sarah's grandmother, a symbol of love woven into countless family memories. But peace in Willow Creek was fragile. As the Thompsons savored their meal, a sharp clack of heels pierced the air. Margaret, the HOA's self-appointed enforcer, marched toward their garden, her face set in a scowl. Known for her obsession with uniformity, perfect lawns, approved paint colors, no unsightly decorations, she viewed the angel as a rebellious affront. Bat swinging at her side, she muttered about non-compliant aesthetics, her voice dripping with disdain. Sarah froze, her fork midair. David's jaw tightened. Emily set her phone down, eyes wide. Margaret stopped before the statue, her gaze cold. "This eyesore violates HOA rules," she declared, raising the bat. Before anyone could react, she swung, shattering the angel into fragments. Sarah's gasp echoed like a gunshot. The porcelain shards were scattered among the roses, each piece a wound to the family's heart. Margaret stood unapologetic, dust settling around her. To her, the statue was a blemish on her vision of suburban perfection, a challenge to her authority. But to the Thompsons, it was a desecration of memory. David's hands trembled, rage replacing his usual calm. Sarah clutched the porch railing, tears welling. Emily whispered, "She can't do this, can she?" The air crackled with tension. Margaret turned to leave, her smirk a spark to David's fury. Something primal snapped inside him, not just anger, but a fierce need to defend his family's dignity. He spotted the leaf blower leaning against the porch, an unlikely weapon for an unlikely hero. Grabbing it, he sprinted after her, the machine roaring to life with a guttural growl that startled birds from trees. The chase was on. Margaret, sensing pursuit, quickened her pace, her polished exterior unraveling. David, fueled by indignation, weaved 3 yards, the leaf blower's blast sending leaves swirling like a storm. Neighbors emerged, drawn by the commotion. Curtains parted, doors creaked open, and whispers spread. "David's chasing Margaret! She smashed their statue!" The scene was absurd yet electric, a mild-mannered dad wielding a garden tool like a knight's sword. Margaret's confidence faltered. Her heels slipped on dew-slick grass, her pristine white blazer a stark contrast to the chaos. David closed in, the blower's roar a battle cry against years of Margaret's petty tyranny, fines for unapproved mailboxes, threats over children's chalk drawings, demands to remove tacky wind chimes. The neighborhood watched, some cheering, others stunned, as the chase became a symbol of rebellion. Then came the climax. Margaret, desperate to escape, misstepped near a sprinkler-soaked lawn. Her feet slid, and with a flailing yelp, she plunged into a muddy flower bed. The crowd gasped, then erupted in laughter and cheers. Margaret, caked in mud, sprawled ignominiously, her authority as shattered as the angel. David slowed, panting, a wry smile breaking through his anger. The leaf blower idled, its roar fading into the neighborhood's newfound voice. The fall was more than physical. Margaret's reign, built on fear and control, crumbled under the weight of her hubris. Neighbors, long silenced, found their courage. Mrs. Carter, whose garden gnomes were once confiscated, stepped forward. "This isn't about rules, it's about control," she shouted. Mr. Lee, fined for his daughter's hopscotch art, added, "We're not your canvas, Margaret." The crowd buzzed, stories of grievances pouring out like a dam bursting. David, still gripping the blower, addressed the crowd. "This isn't just about our statue," he said, voice steady but fierce. "It's about our community. We've let one person dictate our lives for too long. Let's build an HOA that listens, that values us, not one that bullies us into sameness." His words ignited the crowd, nods turning to cheers. A vote was called, and hands were raised unanimously to remove Margaret as president and rewrite the bylaws. Margaret, struggling to her feet, faced a sea of defiant faces. For the first time, she saw the community not as subjects to rule but as individuals with stories she'd ignored. Her childhood, chaotic and unstable, had driven her to crave order, but her rigid vision had alienated those she meant to unify. Mud clinging to her, she stood silent, the weight of her actions sinking in. Would she change, or double down? The story leaves her fate ambiguous, a spark for debate. As dusk fell, the Thompsons placed a new angel in their garden, simpler but no less meaningful. It stood as a testament to their resilience and the community's rebirth, a symbol of unity over division. Neighbors lingered, planning a new HOA rooted in empathy, where individuality could bloom alongside community spirit. But was David's chase justified, or did it cross a line? Was Margaret a villain, or a product of her insecurities? This story raises questions about authority, rebellion, and the balance between personal freedom and collective rules. Did the community's uprising go too far, or was it long overdue? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us, was David's leaf blower stunt a heroic stand or a reckless prank? How far would you go to defend your home's heart? Drop your take, subscribe for more wild neighborhood tales, and let's keep the conversation going.